One moment your cat is purring contentedly in your lap, and the next, claws, sharp, sudden, and completely unexpected. You pull your hand back, maybe let out a yelp, and then something strange happens. Your cat leans in and starts licking the exact spot they just scratched. It almost looks like an apology. But is it? According to feline behaviorists, what's actually happening in this moment reveals something far more fascinating about your cat's emotional world and your bond than simple guilt. By the end of this, you'll never see that scratch then lick sequence the same way again. So let's start with that moment, the one that leaves you confused and maybe a little hurt. You were petting your cat, everything seemed fine, and then, out of nowhere, they turned on you. But here's the thing most people miss. It wasn't out of nowhere. Your cat didn't suddenly decide to attack you. Something shifted in that moment, something you probably couldn't see but your cat felt intensely. And then, almost immediately after the scratch, they're licking your hand, your arm, maybe even your face. It's such a specific sequence of behaviors that it feels intentional. It feels meaningful. Dr. Mikel Delgado, a certified cat behavior consultant, explains that this pattern is actually quite common among cats who have strong bonds with their owners. The scratch and the grooming that follows aren't random. They're connected in ways that reveal how your cat processes social interactions. Think of it like when a friend accidentally says something hurtful in the heat of the moment and then immediately tries to smooth things over. That instinct to repair, that's what you're witnessing. Your cat isn't just licking you, they're reaching out. And the fact that they do this, specifically with you, actually means something. Now, the word guilt gets thrown around a lot when we talk about our pets, but here's where it gets complicated. Do cats actually feel guilt the way humans do? The honest answer, according to current research, is probably not, at least not in the way we experience it. Guilt, as humans understand it, requires a specific kind of self-reflection, the ability to recognize that you've violated a moral standard and to feel bad about that violation. It's complex, it's layered. And according to Dr. John Bradshaw, author of Cat Sense, there's no evidence that cats possess this type of moral reasoning. But, and this is important, that doesn't mean cats don't feel anything. Dr. Bradshaw notes that cats absolutely experience emotions. They feel fear, contentment, frustration, affection, and yes, something that looks a lot like regret. It's just not wrapped up in the same moral framework that human guilt carries. So when your cat scratches you and then immediately grooms you, they're not thinking, I did something wrong and I need to apologize. But they may be experiencing something like, that interaction went badly and I want to fix it. It's less about morality and more about social repair. And honestly, that might be even more meaningful. Because it means your cat's response isn't about following rules. It's about maintaining their relationship with you. You matter to them, not because they're supposed to care, but because they genuinely do. To understand why your cat scratched you in the first place, we need to talk about something called overstimulation. Cats have incredibly sensitive nervous systems, and their skin is packed with nerve endings. And what feels like pleasant petting to us can quickly become overwhelming to them. Dr. Marcy Koski, a certified feline behavior consultant, explains that many cats have a threshold for physical touch. And once that threshold is crossed, their nervous system essentially short-circuits. It's not aggression in the traditional sense, it's more like sensory overload. Imagine someone rubbing your arm. It feels nice at first, right? But if they kept going, and going, eventually it would become irritating, even painful. That's what your cat experiences, but compressed into a much shorter time frame. Their body goes from, this is pleasant, to this is too much, in seconds. And when that switch flips, their instinctive response is to make it stop. The scratch isn't personal, it's not punishment. It's a reflexive, boundary-setting behavior that happens faster than conscious thought. According to research published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, most overstimulation responses occur after repetitive petting in the same location, particularly along the back and base of the tail. Your cat wasn't planning to scratch you. Their nervous system simply reached its limit. And here's the thing. They often seem just as startled by their own reaction as you are. Which brings us to what happens next. That immediate shift into grooming. When your cat licks you, they're not just cleaning. They're communicating something profound. In the feline world, this behavior is called allogrooming, mutual grooming between cats who share close social bonds. It's one of the most intimate behaviors cats engage in. According to the Cornell Feline Health Center, allogrooming serves multiple purposes. It reinforces social bonds, reduces tension, and establishes trust between individuals. Wild cats and feral cat colonies use allogrooming to maintain group cohesion. To say in effect, you are part of my family. When your cat grooms you, they're extending this same social ritual to you. You're not just their owner, you're their colony mate, your family. Now, the timing of this grooming matters. When it comes immediately after a scratch, it takes on additional significance. Pam Johnson-Bennett, a certified cat behavior consultant, notes that post-conflict grooming is a recognized pattern in cat social behavior. It's a reset button, a way of saying that moment of tension is over. We're okay now. Think of it like a hug after an argument. The argument happened. It can't be undone. But the hug communicates, I still care about you. I still want to be close to you. That's what your cat is doing when they lick you after scratching. They're not erasing what happened. They're rebuilding the connection. And they're doing it instinctively, without being taught, because maintaining their bond with you is that important to them. In the wild, cats who live in colonies have developed sophisticated ways to repair relationships after conflict. This isn't unique to domestic cats. It's observed across many social species. When resources are limited and survival depends on cooperation, you can't afford to let every disagreement permanently damage your relationships. So animals evolved reconciliation behaviors. According to research published in Animal Behavior Journal, cats use specific signals to de-escalate tension and restore harmony after conflicts. These include slow approaches, soft eye contact, rubbing, and yes, grooming. Dr. Sharon Crowell Davis, a veterinary behaviorist, has documented these reconciliation patterns extensively in domestic cats. She notes that cats are more likely to engage in post-conflict grooming with individuals they have strong existing bonds with. Strangers or cats they're merely tolerant of don't get this treatment. It's reserved for their inner circle. So when your cat grooms you after scratching, they're activating an ancient social protocol. One that says, you are important to me, important enough to repair this. It's actually, when you think about it, quite remarkable. And your cat didn't read a book on conflict resolution. They didn't learn this from watching you. This behavior is wired into them, evolved over thousands of years, and they're choosing to use it with you. That choice, that instinct to reconcile specifically with you, reveals just how much you mean to them. Your cat's body was telling a story long before those claws came out, and learning to read that story can transform your entire relationship. Cats communicate primarily through body language, and the signs of overstimulation are there if you know what to look for. According to Jackson Galaxy, cat behaviorist and host of My Cat from Hell, the key warning signs include tail twitching, skin rippling along the back, ears rotating backward, and a sudden tensing of the body. These signals often appear seconds before a scratch, and recognizing them gives you the chance to pause before things escalate. But here's something equally important. Pay attention to what happens after the scratch. When your cat shifts into grooming mode, their entire body language changes. The tension releases. Their movements become slower, more deliberate. Dr. Karen Becker, a veterinarian specializing in animal behavior, notes that this shift is visible. The cat's posture softens, their eyes may partially close, and their focus narrows entirely to you. This is your cat actively choosing connection over distance. And they could walk away. Many cats do. But instead they're staying. They're engaging. They're working to restore what was briefly disrupted. That willingness to stay and repair, rather than retreat, is actually quite significant. It means your cat values your relationship enough to do the emotional work of reconciliation. Not every cat does this. Not every cat will. But yours does. With you. Here's what makes this scratch then groom sequence so remarkable. It doesn't happen with just anyone. Your cat doesn't engage in this behavior with strangers, or even with people they merely tolerate. This specific pattern of boundary setting, followed immediately by reconciliation, requires trust. Deep trust. According to Dr. Mikel Delgado, cats are selective about who they allow into their inner emotional world. They maintain different relationship categories. There are humans they avoid, are humans they accept, and humans they're genuinely bonded with. The scratch-groom sequence only occurs in that third category, the bonded category. You've earned a place there. Think about what this means. Your cat feels safe enough with you to express their discomfort in the moment, and trusts you enough to immediately repair the relationship afterward. Both parts of that equation require security. A cat who doesn't trust you might scratch, but they won't stick around to groom. And they'll retreat, they'll hide, they'll maintain distance. But your cat doesn't do that. They stay, they reach out, they lick your hand, sometimes the very spot they just scratched, as if to say, I know that happened, but we're still us. International Cat Care, one of the leading feline welfare organizations, notes that this kind of post-conflict engagement is one of the strongest indicators of a secure attachment between a cat and their human. You're not just someone who feeds them, you're someone they want to stay connected to. That's, honestly, a beautiful thing. Now that you understand what's really happening during these moments, you might be wondering how to respond. The best approach, according to feline behavior experts, is gentle acceptance. When your cat scratches and then grooms you, don't pull away from the grooming. Don't punish the scratch after the fact. Your cat won't connect the punishment to the behavior, and it may damage their trust. Instead, accept the grooming for what it is, a reconciliation attempt, and let them complete it. You can speak softly, using their name in a warm tone. You can offer slow blinks, which cats interpret as a sign of trust and affection. Dr. Marcy Koski recommends responding to post-scratch grooming by staying calm and allowing the moment to unfold naturally, as your cat is doing exactly what their instincts tell them to do, and your calm acceptance reinforces that your bond remains intact. Going forward, pay attention to those pre-scratch warning signs we discussed. Learn your cat's specific overstimulation threshold. Some cats can handle longer petting sessions than others. Vary where you pet them, and pause regularly to let them signal whether they want more. But when scratches do happen, because they will, even in the most attuned relationships, remember what that grooming afterward means. It means your cat is choosing you, again and again. Even in moments of stress, they're not holding grudges, they're reaching toward you, and that's everything. So, the next time your cat scratches you and then immediately begins licking your hand, you'll know. It's not guilt, not in the human sense, but it's something perhaps even more meaningful. It's your cat's instinctive drive to maintain their bond with you, activated automatically, because you matter to them in a way that transcends conscious thought. You've become part of their inner circle, their family, the one they reconcile with, because losing you isn't an option. That scratch then groom sequence, the one that used to confuse you, it's actually one of the most honest expressions of feline love you'll ever witness. Imperfect. Yes. A little painful sometimes. Absolutely. But real. Deeply real. Your cat isn't performing for you. They're showing you, in the most authentic way they know how, that your relationship is worth protecting, worth repairing, worth keeping whole. And every time they lick that scratch, they're telling you, in their own quiet way, that you're theirs, and they're yours.